suddenly make it all seem worthwhile. Well, it's you, girl, and you should know.
I'll tell you what, why did I go last? Are you all liquored up enough so you remember me as funny? God, I hope so. Where's the clicker? So that song, let's talk about our walk-up songs. If you know the song, you know the reference. If you don't know the song, you think I have terrible taste in music. I assure you I don't have terrible taste in music. That was the theme song. Oh, by the way, I'm Amity Addrisi, host of New Day Northwest from King 5. By the way. So that was the theme song of a show called The Mary Tyler Moore Show. We love that show, right? So if you haven't seen that show, it's a story about a woman who goes to the big city to work for a news station, and she ends up becoming a news writer, which at the time, in the early 70s, was unheard of, right? But she does it. She becomes successful. She works in an awesome newsroom with an awesome news director, which is, we know, sometimes not true. But in our case at King 5 now it is. But she does it, and I loved her. This is my favorite show as a kid. And as most kids raised in my generation, I was raised by the television, so Mary raised me. But most of my other friends, they were watching, like, Who's the Boss and Full House, and I was watching Mary Tyler Moore asking if somebody wanted to be my Rhoda, which got a little weird. But I loved this. I loved everything about her, and so, of course, when it came time for picture day, I decided I want to look just like her. So I made sure I looked just like her, and ladies and gentlemen, I think I nailed it. Right? I mean, look at that. Nailed it. Woo! I'll tell you what, I'll say this. If you have curly hair, here's a word to the wise, don't try to brush it. Yes, don't brush it. It doesn't get sleeker, it just gets bigger. My hairstylist is here tonight, and I'm never going to hear the end of this. But, you know, I look at this girl, and I love that girl. I love this girl. I lost my dad when I was very young, and I was raised by a single mom who did her best. And I'll tell you, I look at this kid, and she was a survivor. She went through a lot. I won't get into it. You can Google it. I talked about it publicly, but I went through a lot. And I look at this girl, and I think, wow, I still learn from her a lot today. She's still a lot of my decision making. Now, my therapist will say, who's driving? Is it young Amity or big Amity? I'm like, it's me. I'm driving. I'm okay. But this Amity helps me make a lot of decisions, especially in, like, parenting. Because, you know, as a parent, you get so frustrated, you're doing everything, but you never, like, when you forget that you were a kid, and you gotta listen to your kids like you were a kid. So I love that kid. I still listen to that kid. But sometimes it surprises me how that kid became this lady. I mean, she's so shiny. And I look at that sometimes, I'm like, hey, who is that? That is not me. Who is that? But I am proud. I mean, actually, let's go back again. Can you see? This kid became this. It's the craziest thing, I tell you. So I'm so proud to where I've become and all the things I went through, which, again, I won't get into tonight. But I love what I do every day. I love what we do, table in the back, every single day. We are a lifestyle show, so we talk about fun things. We learn to cook. We learn to craft. We learn to talk about books that are exciting. But the most important thing I feel like we do is bring awareness to causes and events around us literally every day. Monica's been on the show. And if you have a cause or an event, come on my show. We are the megaphone that we can be for anyone. And it's a pleasure to do this job. It's an honor, it's a responsibility to do this job, but really every day I want someone to come away with, after watching our show, happiness, feeling good. And if you've never seen my show, well, I'm going to give you a little bit of a preview.
With every new day comes endless possibilities. Sometimes the hardest part is knowing where to begin. Don't worry, we've got some ideas for you. Start your day with a new recipe. Need a fashion refresh? We do that too. We'll give you a green thumb. And we always put on a show. So what are you waiting for? Try something new with us today. New Day Northwest, weekdays at 11, only on King 5.
Doesn't that look fun? Don't you want to watch weekdays at 11 on King 5? And King 5 Plus, we are streaming now. So no, Best job ever. I get to do all the fun things. But I started, much like Mona, in a small town in a place called Bakersfield, California. Beautiful Bakersfield in the Kern Valley. And there I am. I started as a weather forecaster. Actually, I think they use the term weather girl. Uh-huh. Yep, I hear that. I was a weather girl for a while. This guy in the middle, he held the thumb over everyone. But hey, that's okay. We moved on. But it was really fascinating doing the weather. I love science, so I enjoyed that. But over time, I ended up in the field. I became a field reporter. You know, I hit the streets. I did the things. This is my favorite picture right here. I was an investigator, Roberta. So don't, I can investigate too. And they took us out to an alley in the middle of the night, all these reporters and photographers, and they said, look mean. So there we are, standing there looking mean. My friend Linda just looks pissed. I look a little bit scared. My friend Juan Carlos in the back is like, what are we doing here? Why are we in this alley? And the worst part about it is, this was part of a huge billboard of all of us investigators standing there. And they put that billboard in the front room of the station, so when you came in the lobby, that's what you saw. I know, not all marketing campaigns are gold. So I end up working, I'm learning the things, I'm learning the ropes, and then I become this intrepid reporter here. I finally earned my stripes, and I'm serious. You know how I know? I'm serious there? Because I'm wearing my pearls. That's right, yes. So I'm very serious, I'm doing the things, I'm learning the stuff, I'm earning my stripes, and I end up at King 5 News. Yeah. And it was so exciting. That's our old set. Look at that. It's a relic right there. It was really exciting to get there. I felt so much pride, but a lot of it was imposter syndrome. Honestly, really, I felt like, I don't belong here. When is someone going to realize I don't belong here? Oh my God, they're going to send me away. What is happening? So I just wanted to share a few things I learned about overcoming insecurity and doubt, which is something I'm still learning today. And the first thing is to stop comparing yourself. That is the most important thing. Do not let someone else's success determine your worth, because it doesn't. Because we all have different paths and we all have different things. I think about you. If you had let someone else's success determine your worth, you would have given up. You didn't. You never gave up. And that's what's so important. Second, there is no main road to success. God, why didn't anyone tell me this? What I was told is, you got to get to market 150 by this point, then you got to get to market 50, then market 20, and then maybe you'll end up in LA. Well, I didn't, and I never wanted to end up in LA, so. Next, fight, even when you don't feel like it. I am the most unconfrontational person. I hate confrontation. I will avoid it at all costs. I mean, if you put me in the corner, my claws will come out. But for the most part, I do not like confrontation, but there have been times when I knew a news director would say no to me, but I still went in that office and I said, nope, I'm the right one for this position. I fought even when I didn't feel like it, because I knew I had to for what I needed. And finally, embrace mistakes. I just say embrace mistakes. Actually, embracing a mistake is how I found my voice as a journalist. I was anchoring the weekends in Bakersfield, and I was trying to say Janet Napolitano's name. And I couldn't say it. I said, Janet Napolitano. I mean, it was like a comedy skit on SNL. I could not say the name. So I'm literally on TV, and I'm just like, hang on, give me a minute. Janet Napolitano, boom. I literally said that on air, and I thought, oh my God, I got off the set, and I'm like, I am gonna get emails. I am gonna get written up for this. And the only emails I got were from people saying, wow, thank you. Thank you for being real and honest and authentic on TV. And I went, boom, light bulb. That's what people want. Your responsibility as a journalist is to bring the truth and to bring the important facts to people. And if you do it like an automaton, who's going to believe you? If you say it, if you give it to someone saying, hey, this is what's happening in your community, this is what we need to care about, that is what translates. So I did. I embraced that mistake. So there I am, being a big-time reporter. I'm covering wildfires. I'm reporting from the high seas. I'm a chief medical health reporter. That's right. That's right. I've worked with greats like Jean Anderson, an incredible woman, and I've even ridden a giant cow or a steer. Or what is that? Is it a steer? I don't even know what that is. It was scary. It was at the fair in Enumclaw. You know the joke. But what I sorry. But what I wasn't prepared for was, well, the next phase of life, pregnancy. Yep. Okay, can we just take a second and look at this pregnant picture? I look like I'm about to give birth to a 3-year-old. I mean, that is my belly. I love when some women like swallow a basketball. I'm like, I've got the basketball team. I've got this. But you know what's better than being pregnant? Going through all those wonderful things that your body does, all those weird changes, is doing it on TV. For everybody to see and comment and tell you, you shouldn't wear that dress. What were you thinking? Is your nose getting bigger? You're too fat. Thanks. For the record, I gained 70 pounds with each pregnancy. I was tipping the scale at 200 with each kid. Yes, my body will never be the same. But you know what? Totally worth it. Look at those babies. Aren't they the cutest? Oh, God, they're so beautiful. And by the way, you know who took these pictures, by the way? Mimi Jung. She took those pictures. You know, there's like an onion, these people in this industry. So those are my beautiful babies that are like 7 years older than that right now, and they're not as sweet, but no, they're still as sweet. I love them. But this was actually, I didn't know we were supposed to be breaking barriers in this speech. I thought we were overcoming challenges. So, but we'll do both. We'll break barriers, we'll overcome challenges, because this was the challenge I had to overcome. Being a working from home mom. It's hard. Sometimes it's really hard. And I thought, I suck at this. Man, I am failing at everything. Am I good at any, like seriously. We come home because of the pandemic, we're all stuck together. I'm doing live shots from the bathroom. I mean, it was good. I literally did a live shot from the bathroom. It was quiet. Things got wild. And so I really, really struggled. As a parent, I've struggled a lot because I have wonderful friends, 2 of which are here tonight, who've really, really guided me. They have older kids. They've been through this rodeo before. And they've really guided me on how to be a good mom and to like, give myself some grace. And here's some of the things they've taught me. So first of all, I want to say, this is not if you're a parent, if you're a human, if you breathe, if you have a heartbeat. If you ever deal with anxiety, seek help for it. This is a thing I hear more and more that's creeping out of all of us. My child is dealing with anxiety now. Do not suffer in silence. It is awful. Your body will start to fall apart from the inside. If you have anxiety, tell someone. I had anxiety driving here. I'm going to have anxiety driving home tonight, but I'm telling you about it. And you're going to hug me later and be like, you got this. And I'll be like, thank you for that. And so please talk about it. Second, don't try to do it all. Just don't. Let go of your expectations. I mean, definitely don't try to be a full-time working mom, the vice president of the PTA, the class parent, and throw something else in there. That was stupid. Don't do it, because you're going to be bummed about yourself. And then give yourself a break, because guess what? You're going to miss an email. You're going to miss an email from the teacher. And then you're going to try to play it off on your husband and be like, did you get that email? No, you didn't. And then, and nothing good comes from that. The whole house is angry. And nobody feels good. So give yourself a break. Give your spouse a break. Look, it's not brain surgery. We're just all trying to get through it together. And then finally, embrace being good enough, because none of us are ever going to be the best at anything. There's always going to be someone better. There's always going to be someone brighter, someone prettier, someone smarter, someone everything. So just be like, hey, I've got this. I'm good enough. You're welcome. So I can't be a woman to watch without talking about the woman who made me. And this is my mom. Isn't she beautiful? I had to go with her when we went dress shopping. I'm like, you can't outshine me at my wedding. Seriously. And she did. She's gorgeous. And I'll tell you, real badass. Makeup artist in film and television for 30 years. When I came out wearing makeup at 12 years old, I'm walking out of the house trying to be all subdued. And she's like, wait, get back here. I was like, I'm sorry, Mom. She's like, if you're going to wear makeup, you're going to do it right. So she taught me. A lot of people ask me if I have a makeup artist. I said, no, I just had a really overbearing makeup artist mom. So she also a huge animal lover. I love this story. So we were driving once on 405 down in Los Angeles, not the 405 here. And there was a dog in the road, and she had this giant truck, and she literally put the car across 3 lanes of traffic to save this dog. I thought we were gonna die, she was gonna die, everyone's gonna die. To save this dog, she's crazy. But the dog was fine, we all survived, obviously. I mean, she drove this giant truck with her big 5th wheel back and forth across the Cascades she'd go down to see my sisters and then see me, and she's just a badass. And I remember, actually, the reason I love this event so much is because the first time I emceed this event, like 6-7 years ago, I was driving home. It was when we were at the Kirkland Performing Arts Center, and I was driving home and I was telling her, I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, I met the most incredible women tonight. I cannot wait for you to join me. I can't wait to go and introduce you to all these women. And she's like, we're gonna go next year, it's gonna be awesome. But that didn't happen. I lost my mom 3 months later. And it fucking sucks, excuse my language. And so I thought about, in this process of overcoming things and obstacles, overcoming grief. Well, the first thing is you can't overcome grief. You can't outrun it. You can't overcome it. You just need to give yourself space to grieve. You need to give yourself time to be in that hole and to be in pain, and that's okay. And then talk. Share feelings. Share your feelings, but most importantly, try to find somebody who has been through what you've been through before. Because I found that when I was trying to share some of my pain with friends who had not lost a loved one who was really close to them, I would see the anxiety on their face, the fear that I was living out their worst fear, and it was hard for them. And so I realized that some of those folks who loved me, but they couldn't give me that support because I scared them with this terrible grief. But when I turned to people who'd been through it, they were like, I got your back, come on, let's go walk. One friend told me there's actually a club called Motherless Daughters. Worst title ever. But sign me up because I want to grieve with those people. So find the people to grieve with. And then accept that you're a mess. Accept that you're a mess and that there's nothing you can do about it because the real people will stick with you. The real people who love you, they will stick with you. I had coworkers who said awful things to me, not very nice things. But I also had friends who were like, I've got your back. You are fine. You are doing this. You're still breathing one step at a time. So that is my advice for dealing with grief. And I want to share some advice from my mom because she had some great lessons. She always said, keep moving forward. Keep moving forward because looking back means you slow down. You know, when you're driving a car, you look back, you're slowing down. Be brave even when you don't want to be brave. Fake it till you make it. She loved saying that. Sometimes I was like, really, Mom? And then don't sweat the small stuff. She would say the other word, but I already cursed once, so I think I've got my limit. Don't sweat the small stuff, and that was really, really great advice. And finally, I'd like to share some advice from a very special lady in this room that she gave me a while back, is create your own community. When I first moved here, we didn't know anyone. We knew our Aunt Eileen and Uncle Charlie, and that was who we knew. And she said, it's up to you to create your community. And I was like, oh my gosh, this lady's intense. But she was right. Well, she gave me most of my community you've heard here tonight. But she created that. And honestly, this family that I've created here is the biggest family I've ever had in my life. And my friends who are here and who have supported me and stood by me and helped me with parenting and helped pick up my kids and helped do everything, like Alex said, we cannot do this alone. These are the people. These are the people who have my back, my work family here. They're the ones who get me through every day. And okay, it's fine, Amity, you're a little tired, we got you. That is the best advice I can give is create your own family, create your community, find that place because there are open arms everywhere and don't be afraid. And my final piece of advice, my final thought, never hide who you are because it's going to come out eventually. Thank you so much.